We've talked about expressions and equations and just basically what they are. But what's an expression? Yeah.
Has I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
A question with no answer.
Yeah, it's basically a question with no answer. It's one side of the equals sign. Okay? Does it have to have a variable?
Yes.
No.
No.
An expression may have a variable, but it may not, too. 2 plus 4 is an expression. 2 plus c is also an expression. Okay? What's an equation then? Yes.
Made up of two expressions.
Combined with an equal sign. So an equation is both sides of the equal sign. And it has to be true. For an equation has to be true. If you look at the picture in your math textbook, think of it like a balance beam. Think of it like a balance beam. Each side of the like teeter-totter. Each side has to be the same amount. It has to balance equally. Each side is an expression. The teeter-totter as a whole is your equation.
That's confusing. I totally don't get
What don't you get?
that. I just don't get rid of this thing.
If I put 2 pounds, like a 2-pound weight on here, on my hands, it's hard to do that. So people who are watching, just picture me holding up hands. If I put 2 pounds weights on one hand, what happens?
Only on one hand?
It goes like that,
Oh, yeah.
right? What if I put a 1/2 pound weight on the other hand? It goes a little closer, but it doesn't balance out. How can I get, if I've got 1/2 pound weight here, how can I get this hand to balance with this hand?
Add 1.5 pounds.
Add 1.5 pounds, and it balances. Okay? Thinking teeter-totter, if you have a little kid on this side and a big kid on this side, it doesn't work. You have to add enough little kids to equal the weight of the big kid. Okay? So the balance, an equation is balanced. Both sides are the same. Yeah?
An equation, 2 plus 4 is not balanced.
That's not an equation.
It has to be equal, right?
So what would make 2 plus 4 into... What would make 2 plus 4 into an equation? Yes. Not just an equal sign. So here, 2 plus 4 is one side of my balance. Let's zoom in a little bit.
So, the scale thing.
Shh.
This is the...
What is going to make this balance out? Yes. 6.
No.
What else would make that balance out? Yeah. 3 plus 3. What else? Yeah. Yeah.
1 plus 5?
Yeah.
5 plus 1. Does it have to be addition?
Nope.
2 times 3.
Okay? So the point being that what you need is for the balance to be balanced. One side has to equal the other side. We're used to that with things like 2 plus 4 or 4 times 8. 4 times 8 equals... Come on, guys.
4 times 8, 8 plus 32.
32.
I'll just say it because I figured out what number.
32. We're used to that this way. Now, if we have 2 plus c and we have 6 on this side, It's still an equation. This is an equation. This is an equation. There's only one possible answer for C that's going to make this equation right. If I put 18 here, what's going to happen? It's going to go like this. Because you'll have 20 and 6. The 6 is lighter. The 20 is heavier. We don't want that. If I put 0, what's going to happen? 6 is going to be heavier. So then I'm going to have something like this. I don't want that. I want perfectly balanced. What does C have to be? 4. Now that one was pretty easy because we did that one like right here. You can see it. But what if I do this is still going to be pretty easy.
Is that a time or is it a variable?
It's a variable. If there's no number after it, it has to be a variable. What does x have to equal?
9.
9. There's no other way. Because 2 times 9 equals 18. That keeps it balanced. What are my expressions in this equation? Yeah.
2 times
2x. Yeah. And 18. Both sides of my balance are expressions, even if it's just this. Now, let's do something different. What if I did 3y on one side and 2t.
2tt?
3 times y, 2 times t. It could be anything. What are some possibilities? What could y equal?
2.
If y equals 2, then t has to equal what?
3.
Okay, another one. Yes.
Y equals 147.
If y equals 147, what does t have to equal?
147. Wait, no. 3.
No. How would you figure it out? Yeah.
Take the
on 3 on the y side.
Yeah.
It's one smaller than the on the t side. So you could say that like on the t side, all you have to do is add 1 to your original 147.
Okay, so 147 times 3 equals 148 times 2.
No.
That's what you're telling me.
No.
So how can you figure out what t is? What are you going to have to do? What did you have to do with this one?
147.
Yeah.
You have to times 147 by 3,
Good?
and then the answer you get, you have to divide by 2. 431.
Why do you have to divide it by 2?
Because you're trying to get the number that will times the 141 by 2, so that you can get 141.
Yeah. Something times 2 equals something else times 3. If this is 147, then this side of the balance has to equal 441 because it's 3 times 147. You had to do something difficult, didn't you?
Yeah.
So this side has to equal 441. What does this side have to equal?
441.
441. It has to balance out. Both sides have to equal the same number.
Oh, but it's 2 times, so it has to be half of 441.
Exactly, but because we've got 2 times t, we need to figure out what do you multiply by 2 in order to get 441.
220.5.
So if you divide this number by 2, 220.5 times 2 equals 441. So t equals 220.5. One of the things that's really important when you're solving equations with variables in them is to remember what I've talked about before. Multiplication and division are two sides of the same coin. Addition and subtraction are two sides of the same coin. I can do 2 times 3 equals 6, and I have a balance of 6 and 6, right? I can do 6 divided by 2 equals 3, and I have a balance of 3 and 3. I can do 6 divided by 3 equals 2. What's my balance going to be then? What does each side equal? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
What does this side equal? 2. What's that side equal? Okay. So if I have 2x equals 6, what I want to do is I want to find the other equation, the division equation, that will give me the same answer. 2x equals 6. 2 times a number equals 6. So this number, opposite equation divided by 2, gives me my x. Do the opposite operation on the other side. 6 divided by 2, so x equals.
It's Monday, okay?
Focus. Let's focus. All right. What you need to know for 11.1 is this idea of balance. One side of the balance has to equal the other side. When you reduce both sides to one number, they are the same number. Otherwise, it's not balanced. 160-pound person, 30-pound person. Not balanced. 160-pound person and 4 40-pound people. Balanced. What's 4 times 40 pounds?
I have no idea. Oh, 100. Wait,
160.
160.
You just have to add 0.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so if you have 4, you guys are talking. If you have 4 40-pound people, you have the equivalent of 1 160-pound person, right?